What do I believe about gay marriage? Well, it's coming up next on Pastor Bob Daily. Well, I opened up a little bit of let's say, a can of worms when I talked about the florist who said she would refuse doing a homosexual wedding because she believed that heterosexual sin was different than homosexual sin. It was a different kind of sin. And I commented on that part of it. But people took it that I support gay marriage, and actually many people have demanded that I make a statement. And I think that's kind of interesting, but I'm happy to do that. I also realize that this is a bit controversial. And so I don't want a whole lot of mail this time trying to fix me, okay? On either side and whatever it might be. And one of the reasons that I really put off doing these kinds of podcasts is because I get so much hate mail as a result. So just listen to me, and I'll share my heart. You can agree or disagree. It's fine if you do either one, okay? Well, if somebody came to me and asked me to perform a gay wedding, I would respectfully decline. And the reason that I would decline is because even though I'm a bit on the edge in my music and my style and my dress, I'm really not so much on the edge biblically. I'm fairly conservative, and I really believe that the Bible defines marriage as a man and a woman making a family, and I love that part of it. And can I tell you that the reason that I'm not married is because I believe in family so strongly. And that really is my reason for being single, for being celibate. I've had a very busy life. I've spent a lot of time in pioneering in Christian hard music, rock and roll, heavy metal, whatever. I've had a lot of opportunities to be involved in ministry that really have taken all of my time. Long days, long weeks, long years. And I realized that marriage has to be your first commitment. It has to be your first ministry. And I really didn't feel like I could make it my first ministry. And so I didn't marry. And, an interesting thing happened. I didn't die from that. It wasn't terminal. And my life has been great. I realize that marriage is a huge blessing. But I think it's a curse for some people too. And I have friends that have been divorced several times and still trying to find love. And I realize that marriage for them has been a curse. They would have been so much happier remaining single. Seriously. So it's a difficult thing. And over the hundreds of weddings that I've performed, if I could go back and make some of those decisions again, I would probably decide not to do them. More than once I've stood on the other side of the pulpit and married a couple that I didn't think were viable. I didn't think the marriage was going to last, and it didn't. And I wish I simply would have said, I decline. I really don't believe in that God is bringing you together. And I have to believe that in order to perform this marriage. Now, some people would suggest that simply because I'm a pastor, I have a duty to perform every wedding that comes my way, and I don't believe that. I think I have a responsibility as a human being that makes decisions, and I think can put together a little wisdom on the subject to do some counseling and to take a stand as well. And, when I say that I wouldn't perform a gay marriage, I don't say that with any kind of malice or hatred. I don't have any. I have friends who are gay. It isn't anything about that. And I'm not against a gay ceremony of some kind, a civil ceremony, something that protects their assets and protects, things that the government could just take away. The traditional marriage protects. But I don't want to call it marriage, and I don't want to put it in that category because I believe that the Bible defines it, and I think we should too. I also have some friends who are gay that are Christians. That's another area that I think is a hot topic for people who believe that you can't be gay and Christian at the same time. And again, the question would be, can you be in sin and a Christian at the same time? And of course, there are people that would say that being homosexual isn't sin. I have a friend that is a great C.S. Lewis fan, and he can quote anything about C.S. Lewis, and I love his heart. I have another friend that's in seminary right now. He's going to be a great pastor. And I think I think it's a controversial subject. I know that the neck hairs on some of you are standing up right now. But folks, I really think we need to be a little more tolerant. We need to be a little more careful on who we hate. And do I agree with all these people and their decisions? Well, the people some of the people that I just mentioned have also decided to stay celibate, just as I am. That even though they are gay, they've chosen to not pursue a relationship, to be celibate in their homosexuality because they also believe in traditional marriage. That may surprise some of you, and maybe some of you didn't know that some people have chosen that option. And I always tell my homosexual friends that they have the same rules that I do as a heterosexual single man, and that is that sexuality is reserved for marriage, traditional marriage. And you know, another important thing too is this: that being being celibate has not killed me. I'm still alive, as I said. It has been a life choice that I've not regretted, and my life is very, very full. So, having said all of that, not only would I not do gay marriage, but I wouldn't perform a lot of marriage ceremonies these days, simply because I think it's my job to live my convictions as well. And some heterosexual people that ask me to perform their marriages, I can't in all good conscience do it, because I don't believe that that it's a viable situation. So I realize I've just been very controversial. I realize that this conversation could go on and on and on and on, and it won't. I realize also that some of you will write hate comments, and I will delete them, as I always do, because I don't allow bullies on my sites. If we have a civil conversation, that's fine, but I don't want to make a big deal out of this, folks. Please, let's not. There's so many other subjects that I'd love to get to, and I don't want to get stuck or labeled or die on this hill. It's not a hill I want to die on. So anyway, there you have it. That's where I stand, and whether you agree or disagree, it's okay with me. I love you anyway. God bless you. Have a great day.